not hard to find. Strong-arm tactics so loud, only themselves in mind. Every player has dreams of making Orca fame. They'll live on in the minds of those who get in their way. Orcas all say, don't come for me. Mid-nerd boots, they're so vain. As we set up the podcast webcam, the pod is here to talk Orca game. Orca King CK with delusions of fame. In this LRG world, he's the apex predator. Dani and Jules in tow, always ready to go. Now it's time for the show. They're the apex predators.
Hello and welcome to the Orca Pod, the Apex Predators of Australian Survivor LRG podcasting. Here we are coming to you live to talk about episode 8 of Canberra Survivor. It's a double boot. It's a double boot twist. It's got double earn vibes. We'll have to see how we think about it. We'll get JP's view on this pseudo double earn vibe twist. I'm sure the Orca Pod will have a lot to say about this game-breaking twist, which resulted in no game-breaking boots, which is always a fun time when these twists make everyone play safe. But we'll get into all of that tonight. Joining me is the usual standard OG Orca crew, bringing in the Orca scribe herself. She's got all the notes and all the background, and it's a really producer. Welcome, Amy.
Orca scribe here. Hello. There's nothing standard about us, though. Let's be fair. We're far from standard.
We're the OGs. We're not really the OGs. Wait, so not the OGs because it's like there was me and Annabelle and Max.
Technically, that's you, Annabelle and Max.
And then there was you, Ethan, and Jules. So it's more like we may not be the OG, but we're the golden trio. Let's go with that. And this person would like that reference very much. You know, she's got Harry Potter tattooed on her arm, so she's gonna be loving this. She's back from an absence, but it's good to have her back. You know, I need someone to debate with, and you did step up with that, Dani, but you prefer just to enjoy the popcorn normally. So you can
I do. I much prefer to watch.
Right, Jules and I can debate this.
I don't know if we're going to be debating. I feel like you and I are going to be in agreement on tonight, just the vibe that I'm getting. But yes, I am back. I was very sad to not be here last week and give you a big fat I told you so.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Jordan knows what I was talking about. He
even mentioned what did I say? I can't recall. Who did I think I was going to get booted?
I don't know, but I called exactly what was going to happen, and you were both like, no, it's not. Don't be ridiculous. And then just physic.
Look, Jules, no one likes a victory lap that's 2 weeks late. So arrive on time for your victory lap, so don't bother.
Oh, excuse me for having a job.
You know what, CK, though, if you were ever not here and we podded without you and then you came back 2 weeks later, you would do a victory lap. So let's not.
It's an awkward thing to do, but calling out people is equally fun. I'm going to go with this piece of sound. Let's
what the fuck are we doing? That was very
starting with that.
We do start. When was the last time you watched
explanation of what you were doing? You just threw music at us.
When was the last time you watched the show, Jules? How long have you been away? We've been doing this since the quiz ended.
Yeah, but we didn't do it at the start. We did at the end.
No, we've been doing it at the start.
No, sorry.
Where have you been? Because what we do is talk about what happened in Canberra Survivor the last 3 times. And then we're going to make a quick assessment of where this sits against those episodes. What was the best episode?
Well, I'm going to call it now. This one was 4th.
Well, tell me what happened to these other ones. What happened in Canberra 1, Jules?
Canberra 1, we got my favorite ever vote count of a 3-2-1. Mwah! It's my favorite. And then our friend Ash got voted out. That's the sad part. It was also a touchy subjects episode. I love touchy subjects.
We love touchy subjects.
Especially in this format when it's just a point system. They didn't do a chop. I think this is fairer. So I love a plurality vote in general. Canberra 2 wasn't a plurality vote, but it was an all over the place vote. It was a 4-2-1. We got Ma playing a stealer vote on Anna or Amy, whatever you want to call her. And another friend of the podcast, Mel, got voted out there. Not Mel, Mal. Very hard to say with a Melbourne accent. If we go to Canberra 3, the challenge there was like the bracket tournament idle hands, and Ed broke the prop. That was a funny moment. I liked that. Todd was voted out there. It wasn't a plurality vote. It was just a straight 5-3. And then I know it's not Canberra, but I just wanted to throw in a little fun fact. If we go to episode 8 of Melbourne, in Melbourne 3, some flog named Chris was voted out. I don't know who that was. I think he was the orca of the season, maybe.
Just like many other seasons, as soon as he/the orca is voted out, the season deteriorates quickly.
Not even close.
Watching
and Melbourne 4, our good friend Greg was voted out.
Same position.
Same
Just gets
position.
worse.
Well, it did get worse after that because you and I got voted out. That was just downhill from there.
I didn't like watching two episodes.
It goes downhill. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, I didn't enjoy 2 episodes of you two being led like lambs to the slaughter. There was no hope for either of you. It wasn't exactly.
I get a little orca in my episode, boo.
The orca's good. And there's the idol heist in your.
Yeah, I mean, like my boot episode, you and I just being all lovey-dovey about each other. Like, there's no awkwardness there.
All right, that's enough about Melbourne. We're on to Canberra. That was a spectacular. I know you haven't been watching the podcast. That was a spectacular job because I was not great on the facts last week. Will
Thank
was
Eden and his wiki.
Will was schooling me in the chat about my mistakes.
It was fantastic.
So it was poorly done and much better done by you. This will be your segment. Okay. We want to start with the twist. The good and the bad and the ugly of this twist. All right, Jules.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Survivor is a game about voting, isn't it?
Yes. Then
why are people not voting? Why are they forcing people to go to tribal and not vote? That's what I don't like about it. Like, there's mechanisms that people can lose their vote, and that's normally to try and gain something. But to say, hey, you're going to go to 2 tribals and you can choose one of them to not vote at, like, that is not the game. The game at its core is about voting. So why do we hate voting? That's why I don't like it. Among many other things we'll get into, but that's the main thing.
The thing I don't like about it is that it becomes too difficult to arrange anything. And the strategy becomes a bit of a crapshoot. You might as well just bring them on tribal. Because trying to prepare for this, even as like an overly strategic player myself, it would be a fucking nightmare. Who's voting on this vote and that vote? And it all becomes just about saving yourself, which results in a boring vote because it's too confusing to try and save your alliance. If you want to do weird twists like this, you got to have a double boot. It's an LRG. It's an 18-person LRG, which is the most I think of any. It's the most we've seen. There's been 118 season before, but that's a lot of numbers to get through. Like I, for example, didn't mind the power broker twist in season 50 as a 2-tribe thing with one person who could go to both tribes and have 2 votes. Like you might say, but it worked, right? There were still strategic discussions at both tribes.
It's just tribal.
Well, Brienne brings up the core 6 got through. Now maybe it's the edit, but this didn't actually seem like there was a. Like it didn't seem like there was a core 6.
That core 6 seemed to be formed during that episode, but also Maddie was voted out in a 2-1-1, which I mean, that's the highlight for me. I love a 2-1-1 almost as much as I love a 3-2-1. But like it was this close to being Anthea, or who else was it? Bree that got the other vote in that one? No. Bree got a vote in the first one.
Nat got the other one.
Nat, okay. So it was this close to being an Anthea vote, which is a member of the core 6. All it would have taken is one more vote on her. Like,
also Derek.
Yeah, no, I think that I wouldn't count. I wouldn't say that's no problems of the core 6 getting through.
Derek didn't even join the core 6. He was incredibly reluctant to be a part of this alliance.
He didn't want to vote, Mushy.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for this twist, he would have done anything he could to save her.
he did not want to be part of this core 6 alliance.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. He says he
It
doesn't
was
trust.
close to being a 1-1-1-1, but Anthea was never going with the Derek, and I was voting there. Yeah.
So, like, I think it just, yes, the core 6 got through Brienne, but it seems more like luck or, you know,
Lucky.
post, you know, reconstructing the truth after the fact.
Yeah.
In the creation of this
Revisionist
alliance.
history.
I do actually think this alliance could go strongly. This core 6 actually could be the final 6. I do actually think that could happen now.
Well, if that's the case, then rip Dani's draft, because that's you and me, CK, a final 6.
If we're going to jump into this 6, I love this 6 as the final 6.
I do like this 6.
If this
It's a
6
fun
is the
6.
final 6, not since the glorious days of yards apart have we seen such a strong group of contenders where really any 6 of them would be incredible winners. And I'm not trying to throw some shade on Janine and Nat, but they're quieter sort of players from the season. Whereas all 6 of these other players have been big players. And we're quite, so everyone playing quiet, but it's just not what this podcast is about. And in yards apart, you had 6 loud players. That's probably not true because Sarah was sort of not that loud. It's very better than yards apart, actually, because Sarah sort of goaded. Was it Sarah? Was that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, she goaded her over a bit.
I'm going to call it now. This is not the final 6. These are all hardcore gamers. They will turn on each other.
Let's not jump up to what. Yeah, that's the end of the show.
No, I know. I'm just saying now. We're talking about this as potentially being a final 6, and that'll be the greatest final 6 in all of LRJ history. It's not happening. That's my prediction.
Got to have the goat song for the ride, I guess. So I'll give a pro to this twist, Eden, if you're listening, Mr. Game Designer Man. I criticized the legacy double vote when it was first announced.
I thought of you when Aston said this. I was like, can he? And then I was like, Eden said it would make sense.
Yeah. Back when Jasmine got it, I said, what a fucking dumb legacy voting.
That's powerful at this twist.
It would have been better if it told you that was going to happen.
Then it's giving away that it's going to be a double like this.
You can keep that secret. Aston wouldn't keep it secret. He'd tell a bunch of people.
Aston tells everyone everything. He's not keeping shit.
That wouldn't stay secret. So I get it. It made sense once it happened. So I like that.
There are no secrets.
That's the one shining star on it.
Yeah.
There are no secrets in this game. Everyone's telling each other fucking everything.
And also, I think I'm getting this right. Janine went for the desperation station in this episode.
That became OP.
And then it was strategic how she played the note. I like that too. I like that level of strategy. Very smart from Janine. Janine, if she sneaks through, is a dark horse if she can explain her game, because it's a very subtle game. If she can explain her game in a way that people resonate and believe, I think she's got a great story. She's still very under the radar.
And she now becomes less threatening with Maddie and Mushy gone.
Correct.
Because they were like, those 3 together are far too powerful, but now her 2 alliance members are gone. She's a number to be picked up by the other big players.
And that's why I think that 6 is going to break, because they're going to be like, why are we voting out Janine? We've got Bree here, who's a much bigger target, or we've got Derek, or we've got Will. Look at all these big names that we've got here. Let's pick up Janine. I think, that on her was really good strategy, but I think it was too OP. And this is where you've got multiple twists that conflict each other, because you couldn't do the desperation station with only one tribal because there's no way to do it for the second one. So she basically got implicit immunity for both of them, because they're all like, oh, she'll play it for the first one, so we won't vote for her. And she's like, well, they all assume I'm going to play it on the first one, so I won't, and then I'll use it for the second one, and then I survive. So it was really strategy by her, but those 2 twists didn't work together.
I disagree, because it created such good strategy in what they thought Janine would do. They were going to vote Janine out at the second vote because they were so sure she'd play the note on the first vote, which is obviously a stupid thing to do. It's not she's doing that. But she was smart enough to do it the right way and advantage it. And I don't think it's OP, because everyone that has not used the desperation station previously has this option available to her. And there's a great bit where she's going to get it. And I think it's Bree's like, Brie or someone's like, don't
Maddie.
do that.
It was Maddie.
Maddie,
Maddie
do
was
that.
Let's talk about what to do first. Like, no, I'm taking it. I don't care.
Yeah, like no one's solving this fucking puzzle. So don't worry about actually being immune. This is how you use this thing. Literally, no one will solve a single puzzle this season. They couldn't solve those idols, and they can't solve this number puzzle.
No.
And it's not the cast's fault. It's not the cast's fault. All of this is too hard.
No, I mean, I am a puzzle person, and I think it's too hard.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes under pressure. But yeah, no, I'm not taking anything away from Janine. I think she played it the best way she could have played it. I just think that I like the desperation station as a twist. I don't like this double boot thing as a twist, but the two of them together don't work. And that's something that when you're planning a game and you've got this twist and that twist, you have to think about, all right, what happens when they come together? And this, basically she was safe for 2 rounds.
But the only thing I liked about it is the way it came together. The Janine thing is the only thing I've liked about this twist, and the double vote thing. But the actual twist ruined the strat chat because it was completely unintelligible. And
Correct.
No offense to any players, there is no way you can strategize properly for this.
Yeah. I think if they want to do a double, just do a normal tribal, and then at the end, spring it on them. You've got 5 minutes to talk, and then you're voting again. Or do what you guys did in Melbourne. I think you were gone for this, but it's just, all right, vote again.
Is this essentially the double earn?
It's the double earn, yeah.
Infamous double earn.
It is. I don't like them having to go up and be like, no vote.
In fact, so you say the double earn, which is this, but with 1 earn or 2 earns, is the same thing because they will go up at once.
It's exactly the same thing.
What do we think about if they had to they had to actively not get up to not vote? So you were seeing at tribal who was going and who wasn't.
What with double earn?
Yeah, that kind
I don't think. I think that's too OP because.
Okay. Because then, it becomes like a order of, okay, CK, are you going to vote? No. Danny, are you going to vote? And then if the minority happens to go last, they can be like, hang on, only one person voted. Well, we only need 2 people to have a majority.
Yeah. It doesn't work. But this is the double earn. And in every way, this is the double earn. And do you know who would be so excited to see this double earn play out? It's not JP. It's Vince. Because Vince hates the double earn. And I think Vince has just been proven right by this tribal council. Yeah.
Can we also talk about the immunities? I can understand why Derek got immunity for both, because otherwise they scramble, and if they want to vote him out, they're like, all right, well, we'll just vote him out on the second one. So he needs to have immunity on the second one. Why do we need another challenge? Why couldn't it just be one person immune for both? Why do we need at final 9 2 people immune?
What was the second challenge? Was that tribal?
Yeah, they did a planking challenge after the first vote, before the second vote.
And Mars one. Do you think Mars would have been in some danger without this planking success?
Oh, he would have. I mean, he might have been in danger from Maddie, but I don't think he would have got a majority on him. Oh, there's only 4 people voting. Who were the 4 people voted at that tribal, Danny? I'm sure you've got that all that in your notes.
It was Will, Derek,
Anthea,
and
Aston.
And Derek and Anthea. I mean, Derek's not sold on Mars. Aston is not sold on Mars.
Yeah. So maybe.
I think he would have been. I don't necessarily. There we go. Oh, Brie.
Me, Derek, Aston, Brie. I thought. Anthea must have voted in the first one then. Mars would have been fine. Yeah.
Mars would have been fine. Okay, so he didn't really need it. Because of the 6. The 6. It's really a 5 with Derek, though. I think Derek's, as you say.
That was such an interesting conversation with Anthea. When she went to Derek, she was just biggest nervous Nelly in that conversation. I don't know how to talk to you about this. I don't know how you're going to feel about it. Just fucking rip the Band-Aid. We've had this conversation. It's really exciting. I'm really excited about it. Would love to hear what you think about it. But she goes in with such hesitation. Because she knows how he feels about certain players there. But she makes it worse. I think by approaching the conversation that way, she makes it seem like it's not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and the way she came to him about it, I thought she was about to pitch to him, hey, we're voting out Mushy, which he wasn't going to be okay with, which we all knew he wasn't going to be okay with. But when it's like, hey, this is great alliance and I'm excited about it, and she comes that is going to, if that's me and someone comes to me like that, I'm going to be more hesitant about it just because the other person's hesitant.
Yeah, exactly.
if she comes in, she's like, hey, we've got this core 6, it's 3 and 3, it's all the big threats, we're going to stick together, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I think this is a great move for us. You're going to be more excited about it just by her vibe. But
yeah, and the fact that there's no, because we know that it's the 3, the reason it's exciting is because it's a 3-3. Right, and that sort of a thing. Like they're not there's not one side with a certain amount of more power than the others. Like they're and Will, Anthea, and Derek have been together from the beginning. Like that's a very strong 3.
But see, the 3-3 is only in theory, because then that's when it comes down to, well, who else is in the game?
Well,
and that's
exactly
when it comes
right. In that moment, it's
next. Yeah. Like I wouldn't be willing, if I'm Anthea, Will, Derek, I'm not willing to cut Nat after this when she's going to stick with us. So
no one's going to want to cut Nat.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, well, no, we're going to cut Janine next, and then the Reds are going to be like, well, we want to cut Nat. So that's where the power struggle is going to come in. How do they agree on the name?
But Nat's played her idol, right?
No.
Yeah, she played it. Did she play it?
You might risk on that thing all the way at the end.
How could she not play the idol in this scenario? They should have been
balls
trying to
of fucking steel. That's how.
They should have been someone. Well, the one thing I would have been trying to do is say, let's get some votes on Nat, very on the vote.
Well, that's what Bree was trying to do.
Yeah, because flush the idol. But
speaking from experience, people are very scared in LRGs because it's not enough time to strategize around it. Like you look at me, I didn't need to play my idol ever.
I would have thrown
I played it around and expired.
If I was in this trial, I would have thrown votes on.
Well, there was conversations about it, but it never came to fruition. Like she got 1 vote.
She should have played her idol. Maybe they just assumed they would play
What do you mean she should have played her idol?
Okay.
Well, the theory is votes could go every which way in this vote, so you should play the idol because there's no way of being sure you're safe. But because of that theory, everyone hasn't voted for Nat because they've assumed she's going to play it because it's the time to play it because anything could happen. So she's been strong about it. Now, can I just go back to this group of 6 and Derek? Derek is not keen on the 6.
Yep.
We know this because it's brought to him and he's clearly not keen. But equally, he's brought last to it, which is not where you want to be in a group. Mm-hmm. But also, this is like the worst people Derek can end up in the end with. I'm not saying Derek has played a bad game, but he's played basically the same game as Will, and I think Will's got more credit for it.
Yes.
Anthea's there. She's a returnee. They're always going to get more credit. Aston's a returnee and came back from the thing. You might say he got voted out, but that was a bit of a bullshit twist as well. So Aston's there. Bree's been a big character. Like, there's going to be more Reds probably on the jury. Like, from a Derek point of view, and Mars has obviously been pretty large, this is not a great group for him to be in the end with. I think Derek's like if he won the game, would be a very deserving winner, but I think he's going to struggle against that group.
He can talk. Like he's not this big loud talker, but he is very much like that. Okay, I'm just going to tell you this. And he has a way of like just making you want to listen to what he's got to say. And I think that could be very powerful out of the final tribal if the jury is willing to listen. Now, a lot of juries go in with their mind made up. I think Derek can out-talk most people at an FTC because people like Bree, Mars, they're going to be awkwarding it up, talking about how great they are, and he'll just sit there and just say one thing that makes the jury go, oh, maybe they're not that good. Like, I have faith in my winner pick. I'm still standing by it. I think he's in a good position.
No, I stand by my winner pick. It was the first pick off the board.
Yeah, no, that was a good pick. Well done. I'm still mad at you for sniping Anthea from me.
I got Anthea, I got Will, I got Aston. I'm killing this thing.
You played dirty to get Anthea, though. You told me you didn't want her, so I didn't pick her.
When did I say this? Anthea was mine the first time. She's always been mine.
Look, Sika, you're due for a win. You have yet to win one of these.
Anthea has always been mine. She was mine when we did this last time, and she's mine now. Always and forever. Mm-hmm.
She is going to have to be really engaging at Final Tribal, though.
Anthea?
She is going to have to pull it out because right now, like I have a thing. I mean, one, it's like I've always found this Anthea. She can be quite hard to read. I found it when we played LRG's Collide, like the online game where I played with a bunch of Canberra players and I was with CK. I just never got much from her when trying to play with her. Like It was like kind
Got
of like
fucking dragged in that game. What a load of bullshit. Voodoo idol for a second time.
all right.
Screw you, Sam.
And I fear because we're not getting a ton of Anthea content.
No,
one-on-one.
no.
I've made a note here. I'm like, I need an Anthea confessional. I need to know what she's thinking because we're getting her conversations with other people, but it's not her opinion. We're getting everyone's opinions to her.
Yep.
I need an Anthea confessional to know where the fuck she's sitting.
I feel like she's a fallen angel kind of vibe. Like she's in I think she's in the finale, but she's not at the FTC.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the choice of boots? I don't know the choice. This whole thing's random as fuck. But the people that ended up going, is it a surprise with this twist? Who would have gone in a more natural vote? Maybe still these people.
I still think Maddie's in trouble here. Like I said this last week. Because we debated this last week. TK thought she would last a bit longer because she's a powerful shield to be annoying. Because like she's an easy vote for people to come together. I said she's pushed it too far. Like it's too far now, too far gone.
And so she was being pretty erratic and paranoid. So I think I don't think she's lasting too much longer.
And she was like she was bully-esque in this episode. Like she was fucking arguing for arguing's sake, telling everybody what the it was just like she's been chaos. But this particular episode was like, fuck.
Yeah, and like. The episode starts with her and Mushy talking, and Mushy's like, yeah, I've got you. I'm going to keep you safe. And then she's going out. Mushy led that. That was Mushy throwing Mushy under the bus and then driving the bus over her. So, like,
and then she talks about how she's going to flip on Janine because Janine hasn't helped her. I'm like, how has Janine not helped you?
Yeah.
She has voted with you consistently. She has kept you safe by flipping with you. I was like, she is your fucking number one ally, has backed you at every fucking stage. What? That made no sense to me, that confessional. I was like, how has Janine not helped you?
I think that perception of that being a trio, I think Maddie didn't like that and just wanted to separate herself as much as she could. But it
was a confessional. It was saying to other people about Janine. She has a confessional where she says it.
Yeah. I think this comes back to Maddie having not seen her first game, not having a good read on what happened there, and then it's infected this game as well.
She was calling out Mushy, as were many others, as being, finally clicked that Mushy's got a great story, that Mushy is running this game. Was she running the game? I don't know. I think she just had a very stubborn way about her that whatever she wanted seemed to happen because she just wasn't very flexible.
Mushy Diaz Twine. I'm telling you, anyone but me.
It wasn't anyone but her. Generally, the person she wanted to go went. After she switched, not obviously in the first 2 months. But she was quite inflexible. She would say, "This is what you come to her and say, I think it should be this," and she'd be like, "No, we should vote out this person." Yeah, that was how she would respond, right? There wasn't very much flexibility, and it was getting results. She was often the strongest voice in the room. She wasn't the loudest voice, but she was often the strongest voice, and that continued into this episode, and it made her even more of a target.
I think also with the Blues, we don't have a lot of people who take initiative and lead. I think we've got people who don't want to be the one calling the shot. So if she's saying, this is what I want to do, she's probably the one who's being the most forthright about it. So that I don't think that would fly on the Red Tribe.
That scene with Aston, where he came to her and was spilling more of his little secrets because he loves spilling the secrets. It felt like, honestly, him walking into the Queen's throne room and throwing himself down on the ground to humble himself before the person who Aston has decided is the queen of this game, which is what Mushy was at this point. I truly believe that. I think she'd really hit the apex, and I think it makes absolutely sense for her to get voted out here. I think I said that she was going to get voted out last week. That because she'd gotten to this point of the story was incredible, and everyone was saying this, her story's amazing, and she was holding so much power. I actually think of all the little secret spilling deals that Aston did to try and curry favor throughout the entire time since he's come back from the gloom, this was the best. I think this was Aston's best effort, and I think he actually built a very significant bridge with Mushy in this conversation. That
Well, she
was
turns
not
on Maddie based off this conversation. Like she's been Maddie, like she's been Maddie's, like she will ride for Maddie at any point. And this conversation turns her.
Yeah.
And her voting confessional is, Maddie, I'm not going to vote for you if you're at the end. Like, I was like, whoa.
Savage.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Mushy reached the next level of like stubborn bitterness in this episode. It was elite.
Aston says Derek deserves more credit.
I
think this comes to being a returnee too. You clock people quicker than others.
Let's be clear though. I don't think you want to be sitting next to a returnee at the end, and there's 3 of them in the game.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need the returnees gone before final tribal, because like that gives them a boost before they even say anything. They've come back to the game. They were a pre-merger. Now they're sitting at final tribal. Absolutely not. Like they don't have to say much.
Do you think
heads above?
Is Janine? Am I going to be going to Canberra and buying more drinks?
Yes.
Is Janine going to make the top 5?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
I think so. Like I said, I think this core 6 is going to turn on each other. I think they might try and go for Natalie, and maybe she idles someone out. But I think they're turning on each other in favor of keeping those 2 around. And I think Janine sneaks her way to the end.
What this group should do on the next tribal is do a 3-3 on Natalie and Janine. And then if Natalie doesn't play the idol, they should vote out Natalie, is what they should do. That is the ultimate strategy here.
I don't think they'll do that.
But it's the correct strategy.
The thing is, we have got 6 orcas. Well, how many of them are we calling orcas? There's 6 big power players. Are you in that situation trusting these 3 people from the other tribe to do a 3-3? I'm not. I'm like, what are they up to? They're up to something else. Nah, I'm not being fooled. And I don't trust there.
My last-ditch effort to stay alive in this episode 8 that you referenced from Melbourne Survivor was to appeal to the other big players, because the minnows were not going to keep me in the game. And the problem is there weren't enough big players to keep me in the game. There were too many minnows. I had misjudged it, as had Laurel. Laurel realized on that episode that she needed to keep me and tried to, but there wasn't enough people willing to keep me left. And Laurel saw the future where she could not get past certain votes without me. I would have gone to the end with Laurel or with Kate. I wouldn't have given a shit. And you know what I would have thought going in? I would have thought, I'm so fucking good. I can beat any of these people. I don't care what Laurel's done or what Kate's done or what the jury thinks of them. I'm so good at talking. I'm going to convince them. And I would have with my 1 vote. The point I'm saying is big players.
That's what I would have done. I would have taken Dani to the end and she would have kicked my ass.
But you would have thought you could beat it. That's what I'm saying. Orcas think they can win even when they can't. And so
apparently I'm not orca enough, but you know.
I guarantee you, if Greg goes into that final tribal, he thinks he's winning the game.
Couldn't think of anything worse.
But he would. That's where his head would be. Tell me I'm wrong. Like, so I'm
saying.
I
absolutely thought I was winning that game if I got to the end. I was like, I was asked time and time again in confessional, who do you want to go to the end with? I'm like, I don't care. Just if I'm there, I win.
Yeah. So
I say it to Mars and Evan. I'm like, I don't care who I go with. I just fucking want to get there.
This is the point I'm making about these big players, right? They're not afraid of going against each other because all of them will think they're going to win.
But they're not all orcas.
Yeah, I don't. Derek's not going with any of them. Will's
not
going.
That's because Derek's in the worst spot. He really is, of the 6 of them, for votes. He's not getting Jordan's vote. He's not getting Maddie's vote. Maybe Mushy, but
I don't know.
I don't think Maddie would be open because she recognised Derek for the threat that he is. I
think Maddie would vote for a returnee.
Oh, if Aston or Janine is sitting there, that's who Maddie votes for.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll see.
Mars probably deserves to beat all of them at this stage. I would suggest.
No.
Why?
Disagree.
I think if he can get to the end, he deserves to win because he's played a very big game and it's very hard. I don't think he can make it to the end, but if somehow he makes it and not through just an immunity run, it will be a very incredible performance because he's got to go 6 or 5, I think.
He's also one of the least trusted in the core 6.
It's because he's been flip-flopping his way through the game.
100%, yeah, he does.
Yeah, like Aston doesn't trust him anymore.
I might trust him more now. The fact they all got through this vote might make them believe this six thing is real.
I don't know.
Take us back to your notes, Danny. What else did we talk about from this episode? We talked a lot about the twist and the future. But what happened in the past?
What happened in the past? I'm just flicking back. It's just a lot of talk. A lot of talk this episode about how everyone feels about everybody.
What was the challenge?
The challenge was the balancing things. I've got a note here. A wild Mal's beard appears.
That's all you got.
I was like it was a quick challenge. Like it went relatively quickly. Lots of people dropped out so quickly. I said Nat was holding hers up really, really high compared to everybody else. Like I was like, girlfriend.
And
like,
Brie was holding hers on like just the very edge for the longest time.
Well,
like,
I was
holding that.
I was like, I know how close were production watching Brie's fingers at this point?
Oh,
I was just like,
I'm not. I'll be very clear about this. I'm all for a little bit of like fingers in the wrong place action in challenges. Certainly did it myself. Win's a win, baby. If they don't call you on it, then whatever. But Bree's fingers look dangerously close to that ball. And I
was like, when she dropped, like I don't know if someone said something to her, but it looked like it just touched and she like dobbed herself in. So I don't know.
I'm sus on that. I would love to hear from Bree if her fingers touch those balls. Just a couple of tickles.
I mean, it just like you said, if it wasn't cold, then it didn't touch.
I agree. I'm down with it.
Oh, that's what I want to talk about.
End the rules until they break.
Move on from that and talk about like how I was right about something last week. We're talking about how Mars would feel about the idol in the game. Like you're like, oh, maybe he'll try to get Nat on side, and I was like, no. I was just like, Mars doesn't like anybody in the game having any advantage.
Mars has idol trauma, okay?
I was like, I've got here. I was just like, I was like, Mars doesn't like that Nat has an idol. I told you. Yeah. It's just, and his confession was like, only I can have them in the game. And I flashed back to Uncharted Waters where he has that same confessional and was like, I need everyone else to find them and give them to me.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anybody else in
Uncharted Waters with an idol around his neck that he didn't realize was an idol. He has trauma.
He needed that idol too. He really needed it. Could have won the game with that idol.
He could
have won the game, keeping me in the game. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
And then Jordan comes to tribal council with McDonald's, and I thought they were savage and very awkward of him. I love that.
Loved it. And he didn't just walk in suddenly. He was like,
how did he? Yeah, except it's not. It doesn't have the same effect for me. I'm sorry. Like this isn't Melbourne. This isn't Sydney.
Yeah, they eat a lot in Canberra.
They haven't slept 2 nights out of the fucking rain. Like they've literally
lentils, but you had to cook it.
I know, but like when you're sitting there and you can smell it and you've just been stressed, I would be like, oh.
You're not starving the same way.
Not the same impact that it would be for other LRGs, correct? But it's still
the only person impacted properly is Aston because he's hungover as fuck, and that McDonald's will be looking really good.
Also, again, where is the prince that was promised in Aston? What the fuck is happening?
He's never getting a Brommy. Never. Might win the game though.
Yeah, no Brommy.
He explained last week that he's hungover, so it's not helping.
But he wasn't hungover the first half of the game.
What?
Don't go drinking on the night in the middle of the LRG. LRGs are more important than your social life.
We had this discussion last week.
I blame Ashatara for everything that happens at the merge.
At least he's there, unlike Isaac, so that's something.
This is true.
That's kind of it.
He's rolling, he's laughing. We talked about this. How do you ruin your second chance at this? And
we probably didn't expect to get to day 2, so we have made plans to go out.
If you wanted to get wasted, Aston, just let Adele win the bloody battle back.
Right? He's just a nice guy.
There is a time and place for nice guys, and it is not when you're returning to the game as an orca. What the fuck?
That said, if he wins the game, he won't be the orca, but like I'm sure he's happy with the win in that scenario.
He'll be hard to beat to find a trouble.
I think so too. Do we have any more from the episode?
No.
All right. I'm going to throw up the graphic. Give me a second. Where do I play this? Oh, this. I guess here we go. It's time for the blowhole with this week's boot. And what an incredible run.
We only have one.
Yes, Maddie's sick. What an incredible one. Well, we love to do a lot of history on the Orca Pod, as those that watch the Orca Pod will know. And we always talk about blah, blah, did this, and blah, blah, did that. We will be talking about Mushy's incredible run through the pre-merge of this game, from bumbling her way through that puzzle to surviving, to using every possible advantage that's in the game to her maximum advantage to survive a swap screw, to getting back with her people, to taking power, to being inflexible with that power, and ultimately everyone realizing how much of a star and threat she was to them all after all of that and get voted. And I love that the cast realized this along the way, and we as the audience realized this along the way. She came across as very non-threatening by the end, but honestly, they kept her just because I think they felt a bit sorry for her on the puzzle. But by the end of it, everyone was so terrified of what she could do that she just had to go. What a run. And I believe she has now, Eden posted that she has the most votes against in Canberra Survivor history.
More than Mel.
It's just 17. Oh no, it's not. I think it's not more than Mel.
Oh yeah, and I think it's more than Mel if you don't factor in like the penalty votes.
The dummy votes.
It's got more legitimate votes.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. If you take out the dummy votes, which
I was like, that's a freaking high order.
Yeah, but she still received 17 votes. I'd need Eden to tell me how that compares to the other LRGs, but that is a lot of votes.
That's huge.
So just absolutely kept surviving and always seemed calm and collected all through the stress of that. It would have been good to have Maddie on this time. I know we'll get her on when she's feeling better, but what a dichotomy of experiences. Like the calm, collected, and the absolute chaos. Without further ado, let me bring in one of the stars of this season. It's been an incredible run. Drum roll, please. Yes, Mushy, welcome.
So good to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
That's okay. You were, like CK said, an absolute standout this season. I think we went into this game with not high hopes or huge hopes for you from your Meet the Cast video. But you wowed us. You're a secret little savage, and you had an incredible game. How do you feel about it?
It was quite a journey. Like, as you said from the start, losing all hope that, that first puzzle not going well and feeling like I was going to go on the first vote. And then every game, I had to look for a new way to keep staying in the game. And it kept rolling until the time I got voted out. So it was quite a journey for me.
I don't think it rolled. I think you fought. Like I don't think it just rolled and it was given to you. Like you fought hard. Like you didn't necessarily seem like outwardly like you were stressing about it, but like you came back every turn. You never let anything get you down. It was incredible.
I feel like I was always, when going to the vote, it was always, do we vote Mushy or do we vote someone else?
Yeah.
So I was always on one part of the scale. And that's why I had to fight, and I had to be like, okay, who would be the next best target to take the target off me? So it was quite a fight for some bit, yeah.
But I guess you always gave them a reason to not vote for you. When is it Mushy or is someone else? There was always a strong reason to not vote for you. Like, I think if we go back to the first one, at least from my point of view, it didn't look like they wanted to vote Jasmine. It was just, we don't want to vote Mushy. So I think that says a lot about just your personality and like the way you're able to connect with people.
I feel like at the start, I wasn't much of a threat. I look like someone you can play with, someone who's going to vote with you. So from the very start, if you find someone who is ready to work with you and they just don't want to be voted out, it's much easier compared to maybe Jasmine, who they didn't have much time to speak with. So that's how I viewed it, and that's how it looked when the episode came out. Someone to save and someone to kind of be loyal to when it's time to vote. As
Going back to that first vote, how stressed were you doing the puzzle and then going back after the puzzle? Did you think you were toast from that?
sorry, I was what?
Like that
Toast.
you would be voted out, cooked, voted out, yeah.
I was. When I saw that piece laying on the ground, I was like, I'm screwed. I'm gonna go back in there.
Yeah.
And it's a good reason. Like, if I
Yeah.
was not the one on the spotlight, I wouldn't have minded that the person who
Yeah.
was on my place being voted out. I wouldn't have fought for them too much, unless, for example, I have a good reason. There's someone I can work with. So I guess that's the reason why I still stayed, because some people saw that they could still work with me.
There's a great line from Pirates of the Caribbean that I love about do you think he plans it all out or makes it up as he goes along about Jack Sparrow? And when you're in the pre-merge and you've been swap screwed, you know you get through 3 tribal councils. Then obviously you can't plan for the mutiny. But did you have some strategy about when you went for the desperation station? You know, you took it on the Rose vote and not the Ben vote.
I knew at that point that I was running out of solutions, and that if I did some really good acting, no matter what the outcome was from that puzzle, I can buy myself some time. And if I stay out of the picture, they're going to spiral into each other. So at least I would create some sort of like crack in that group. So at that time, it was the best choice to do.
And what about the vote previously where you voted for Rose, I believe, while the other 2 voted for Jordan? Did you know they were voting for Jordan? Or were you like,
No, I didn't know about that vote because at that point I was in my head, I was going to stick with the original tribe members, Bullet tribe. It was Rose and it was Ben. And that was the strategy in my head, that we're a minority. And as a minority, they might want to work with me. So these are the people I want to work with. But at some point, I believe someone pulled me to the side and was like, look, they're ready to vote you out if that is what it takes. And I believe it was specifically, I was told Rose. That's why I was like, you know what, she's coming for me, I can go for her. And
Yeah.
I guess that's how the vote happened.
Yeah, and I mean, I think just the strategy of just wanting to be the last one of those 3 standing is absolutely the right call. And I mean, it worked, you know? So you made merge, and they didn't.
did you feel any sort of special love and loyalty to Will for saving you in that immunity? Or was it just, well, of course he's going to save me. I'm the only blue person here. I don't feel particularly indebted to him.
I was not expecting it at all. So sitting there, I was like, if they're gonna vote me out at this point, there's no tricks in my hat. So Will giving the immunity was something I would never expect. But then working with him when I started in the original tribe, Will is very straightforward, so you can trust him when it comes to the game. And I think I was able to. We didn't have much of issues working together, and then working with him and Derek, 2 of the most straightforward players, until the point that I got voted out, in my opinion. So I guess there was that link that he knows me from his tribe. I worked with him, and that worked in my favor.
So we go back to the beginning of the game. Who were you feeling like the closest to on that original tribe?
At the very start, I had Rose, definitely. She was someone I was feeling that I was going really well with. And Nat, because we did the first challenge together.
Okay.
So, yes. But somehow me and Nat never got along. And she was the vote that I did not expect when the episode where Simon was voted out. I never tried finding out who were the 3 people who voted for me, but I found out when the episode came and I was like, it wasn't Rose, and I felt so bad. I was like, never expected. So that was a big surprise for me. Me and Ansia never had much time to kind of have really good conversations. I believe at some point we were like, okay, we're doing this vote, you're doing that vote, and we were okay. But it was not Rose at the start, then slowly it became Will, Derek. I feel like me and Ben, we spoke and we had good understanding, but I always knew Ben would do what he wanted.
I can't see a world in where you and Ben run in the game together. I just don't see that happening.
The only issue that like I would trust what he's doing, but he won't let me know. And I like to have a bit of like, assurance that what the other person is gonna do until the end. They're not gonna change their mind. That's why even when it came to the vote where Ben was voted out, he was trying to work a plan. And he pulled me, I believe, last minute and was like, look, we're doing this vote. But at that point, I had no trust in going along with it. And I can't remember who I voted, but it was different to the plan that he was giving me.
Mhm.
Do you feel that if it was not for this sort of silly twist that we've much derided in this episode, you would have still gone here if it just been a normal vote or lasted a bit longer? Or do you think this was always going to be around your time?
I feel like I would have lasted a bit longer. After winning the immunity challenge and being there for so long, it's really difficult to not get into the survival mindset and having the feeling that, I want to stay. I will do whatever I have to do. And even though I will look calm, but inside I was like, you know what? I want to continue playing until the very end. So
Wait,
when
I
it
said
came,
this. You go.
no, did you have?
No, I was about to say, I said this last week. I said we have a few episodes ago where he asked and say it doesn't matter what you do in the pre-merge, like it only matters what happens post-merge. And I said to CK last week, I said Mushy is the only one. If she is at Final Tribal Council, her pre-merge game is important because of everything you went through to make merge. You would have been so unstoppable. At Final Tribal, like that's like one of the few games where you could say the whole game was important, including pre-merge.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could beat you at the Final Tribal Council, including any of the returnees. So I feel like your time was coming because I felt like everyone was actually realizing. I think winning that immunity, that you were there, not me, but my feel was you winning that immunity was the final one to people to wake up and go, actually, Mushy's like done some incredible stuff in this game. Like, I think if you hadn't won that immunity, people maybe not thinking about it as much, but like they were all struggling so hard on that challenge. You finally pull it out and like, wow. And then we'll give her immunity. And then she survived. And then, and do you remember right at the start, she really fluffed that puzzle. Man, what a story she's got. Like, and everyone saw the puzzle. Like, it's not like that's just people from the original tribe. I feel your narrative was so strong and everyone was starting to get a bit worried about it. And I really think you'd become the queen of the scenario with the way Aston came and spoke with you and the way others were talking about you in their confessionals or with other people at the beginning of this episode. You'd finally been clocked as the threat that you are.
I feel like Aston and me didn't have that connection and we didn't really talk before the point where he was voted for the first time.
Yeah.
I remember I spoke to every single member of the tribe when I was swapped, and all of them would give me that little bit of hope, like, we can keep you around, or, yeah, we hear what you're saying. But for him, he was like, you're gonna be gone. From his expression, like, there's no place for you in this side.
Did you
So I feel
prefer
like
that?
once he came, what was it?
Did you prefer that? Prefer his honesty?
It makes it hard because it takes him out as an option of someone I can work with. And if someone is giving me partial hope or giving me at least information I can build on, like if you're going to give me, for example, I don't like this person, or let's not vote, or let's vote this person instead of you, you're giving me like a trail that I can work with. So that was quite difficult. But then he did amazingly coming back and winning the challenge that brought him in. It was incredible to even watch from the side. And he came back ready and flexible and open to playing with anyone. So we had that chat.
If we go back to the where you voted out Aston, it seems that at that point you and Maddie were quite bonded, and then we fast forward to your voting confessional when you were voted out, and you basically said, "Maddie, there's no way I'm ever voting for you." At the end, tell me about that relationship. Like, how did it go from that to that?
I feel like I knew Maddie and her game before she was brought back into the tribe. I did hear a bit about it, or there was something going on at tribal. So I knew that there was a bit of friction in that group. So that worked really well for me. But then when she came and started working with me and Janine, but last minute changed her direction, that was very destructive to my game. And I feel like if me, her, and Janine stayed as the three of us, we could have easily walked through that vote.
And then I suppose the last question I have is, you say in your exit confessional that you feel like you made some mistakes and that's why you were voted out. What mistakes do you think you made that put you on the outs? Because I think you were so threatening. That's why you got voted out. I don't think it's because of mistakes you made.
I think it was in the double vote when it was explained. I didn't really understand it quite well. So I thought that we're going to do the two votes at once. So there was not going to be one vote done, you're voted out, let's do the second vote. It was like
you misunderstood what was happening.
So I tried making sure that my name doesn't come in either of the two votes. So I wanted to know who's going to be voted first, who's going to be voted second. And you get a bit paranoid at the end. So you're going everywhere like, let's do this one first, let's do this one second. And then there was the 4-6 trying to figure it out. So it's quite a mess. If I knew that only one person, then we're going to pose, then for me, it was an easier step to kind of say, hey, this person, first vote, and then it will, maybe luck would still work for me, and then I won't be voted for the second.
Fair enough.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, as we said in the show, the concept was challenging to be strategic about, and I think you were imagining it would be JP's. You don't know what I'm talking about, but JP's infamous double earn is what you thought it was going to be, which we think would have been a better twist. So we're aligned with you. Look, what an incredible story! I think everyone underestimated you when you started the game. I think we on the podcast and the audience that weren't there on the day underestimated you, and you were just absolutely incredible from start to finish. An incredible journey to watch, and it was so sad to see you go. But I do like that ultimately you went because you became too much of a threat and not because of any of the other reasons that you could have gone throughout the game. That's why you want to get voted out, because you're too good. And that's ultimately what it was for you. So that's an incredible run. Congratulations. It was a pleasure watching you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Ushi.
Thanks, Ushi.
See you.
Okay, so now we need to determine the most important thing that we do on this show. Who is going to be the Brommy for this episode? Who are we getting a Brommy nom to become one of the contenders to join the Congress of the Orcas as the Orca of the season? Can anyone remind me who we've given these Brommies to so far? We're up to episode 8, so we must have given out 7. I think we gave 2 to Ben, 2 to Anthea, 1 to Bree, 1 to...
Mars has got 1.
Who did you give it to last week? I wasn't here.
I can't remember who gave it to you last week. So.
I think we gave it to Mars again, didn't we? Oh, I wanted to give it to someone else. Did I give it to Natalie for taking the idol? I think I might have.
No.
Okay.
I thought I did.
No, I think we gave it to Mars because of his confessionals.
Yeah, his confessionals were given very awkward.
That was Maddie.
Maddie last week.
No,
That's
Maddie,
right.
good. Yeah.
I was going to say, if Maddie isn't in contention, we need to posthumously give it to her because she is.
Well, I was about to say she's my nomination for Brommy this week.
Who's yours, Jules?
Yeah,
I want to.
Hear me out.
I
Hear me out.
nominate.
Hear me
Okay.
out. Janine, for just being
Yeah.
so brazen about like, no, I don't want to hear you. I'm taking the totem. See you later.
I sort of wanted to nominate Mushy, to be honest.
Mhm.
Like, there's been a body of work there of a level, once she got power, of being quite strong-arming in what she wants to have happen. I mentioned that she lacked a little bit of flexibility. We talked about how she's not loud and proud, and she certainly isn't that aspect. The Janine
She's
element.
professionals though. She's like,
Yeah.
she's not loud and proud, like overt, but she's like straight savage.
She tells you how it is.
Yeah. The confessionals are quite savage. I don't think he's probably going to win the overall win from the Congress of the Orcas, but I would be happy to give this one to Mushy. Janine's still in the game, but Janine, there's probably not going to be another thing that Janine can do as Orca as grabbing that thing. So
yeah, done. Congratulations, Mushy.
Well,
yeah,
right? Congratulations, Mushy. What a game well played. Finished up with a Brommy nom on your episode, Boot. Incredible run. That's what everyone dreams of. And what do you guys think is going to happen? We had lots of discussion about the future here, but what is going to happen next week, Dani?
I think.
Well, pause you for a second. This was from Will. You know how Rob Cesternino has Rob's fact checker? My fact checker is Will. You are now CK's fact checker for last week's TWIOLSH and this stuff. You're great, Will. We love you.
Welcome
After
to the
this
pod.
season, you can come on and be my producer and just be there to give me facts that I'm not aware of. Sorry.
Next week, I think it's a split vote to attempt to flash an idol, but Nat doesn't play and she goes home.
Oh, okay. I also think they're going to try and flush the idol, but I think they're going to. These people can't seem to get a vote straight. They seem to not be scrambling very well. Things are all over the place. I think they're going to mess up the vote split, and I don't know what's going to happen with it. But I think I think the 6 is not sticking together. Is my prediction.
I think
no, I lie. I think they're going to get through one more vote and then they'll break up next.
So who's going? I think the 6 is nonsense and Mars gets turned on.
Ooh.
Unless you
I look forward to interviewing Mars.
Sorry?
I look forward to interviewing Mars.
I have a lot to say to Mars. Where was this willingness to work with the other tribe in uncharted waters?
I guess he learned his lesson.
It's triggering when I watch it. I'm just like, who is this person? This is not the same person I played with. I like this guy better.
Would you prefer that he didn't learn his lesson? Would that be your preference?
No, I wish he had known that before he came in. I wish he had tried to work with me.
I think he needs a time machine for that.
I wish I played with Mars 2.0 and not Mars 1.0.
Like there's always hope for an All-Stars game.
What, Canberra All-Stars? I don't think Jules is going to be on
Melbourne.
that. She needs to play on Canberra.
Melbourne All-Stars.
As we talked about, Dani, you're not casting both of you, and you were probably the star. So, I think that's the challenge for that casting. I'm not the casting director of these things, but that would be my challenge. Sorry, Jules.
No, I agree.
You would need she would be the alternate to you, Dani.
I'd be if Dani was unavailable that weekend. Then
Dani was unavailable. Her tires were like slashed.
That's when I start DMing Ryan and I'm like, I think you should plan something like a special little trip, like a romantic getaway, this specific weekend.
I think either of us would love the chance to actually work with Mars.
I'd love the chance to vote him out. Let's be real.
You can't trust him.
Oh, I think Mars and I would have fun together. We've talked about it.
You two would, yes, you would.
I wouldn't trust anyone that I had actual like. The only person I probably wouldn't trust for my season is Brady. I could never feel like I could trust Brady. Because we were supposed to be together, but he was lying to me all the time, and I was lying to him all the time. So I could never get over that.
All right.
But no,
Well,
Anyway,
talk about this backstage. We don't need to.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think this 6 is not making the end. I think there's going to be an attempt to flush Natalie's idol, and they're going to blunder it because they can't do anything right.
I think Mars gets cops somehow. So that's it for this episode. As you know, if you're not getting enough Survivor, there's 3 hours of season 50 tomorrow night, but then season 50 is over. But these LRGs are continuing. Sydney's episode 5, 6.
6.
Sydney's episode 6 was on today. That is a really, really hot. Sort of getting the end of the pre-merge.
It's a doozy of an app.
Go check it out if you're looking for more. Then Canberra's back on Friday. I'll be back podcasting on Monday for Sydney, and then back again here for Wednesday for our Canberra coverage. The Survivor never ends. I feel like we've been podcasting for like, I don't know, a year straight at this point. It's been a lot, but it's great.
We're going to have nothing.
I know. Well, I've got plans. You know, I've got all sorts of plans. And until those plans, and until next week, we love. Thank you, Dani. Thank you, Jules. Thank you, everyone that was here live. Thank you to everyone that listened after the fact. Thank you to Mushy. Congratulations on your Brommy nom. We're back on Monday with Sydney, and then Wednesday with Canberra. Until then, we will. I need that producer. We will dance.